All right, you guys, how do you eat cookies and all your favorite foods and still lose the fat you want to lose? I talk to so many of you guys in my DMs every single week, and most of you are going through this same cycle over and over again where you are getting on this extreme fad diet or these extreme diets where you have to eliminate so many things in your life. And sometimes elimination can be a good thing when it's complete crap in our life, but when there's not some moderation involved, most of you are going through this same cycle. You'll be on it for a couple weeks or a month or a few months, and you'll lose all this weight and you'll tell me, I started at 350 and I got down to 220, but now I'm back up to 300. And that's so many people's story. And it's because we're red flagging, those are red flags of what you did was not a sustainable diet. It was not sustainable nutrition for you to live in the long term. So how do we actually build in some Oreos? How do we build in some of our favorite foods like pizza or wings and still obtain the goals we want? Let's get into it.
All right, you guys have been told that fat loss means suffering, that you need to cut out carbs and sugar and everything that makes food enjoyable. But what if I told you you could lose the fat and still eat some cookies, still eat some of the pizza that you love, and ultimately still reach the goal that you want to reach? So many of you want to reach 20, 30, 50, 100 pounds, 100 pounds plus, and you're going into this massive restrictive fad diet to try to get there. And you try to starve yourself into results. We cannot starve ourselves into a long-term result. You can do that for the short term, but we are talking about something that has longevity. We want this to be sustainable. So you lose the weight one time and we never have to lose it again. That is the ultimate way to do this. And so there is a silent struggle in this. Let's be honest. You look in the mirror and you hate what you're seeing. And you're not always lazy. You might be lazy in some areas, but you've tried so many things. You've tried cutting out the carbs. You've gone keto. You've done the carnivore diet. You've done endless cardio, but nothing is sticking for you. You wake up every day and you're wondering why your hard work is not paying off. And so then we build this negative feedback loop because every time you set this goal, it fails. And so then you're like, well, every time I try it, I get amped up and I get some motivation. I set this goal and it doesn't go well. And it starts to be this conscious thing where you're like, well, every time I set a goal, it doesn't go well. And so you stop setting the goals and you start to settle and accept where you're at versus knowing and believing there is more for you. Your shirts are fitting way too tight. Your confidence is gone. Your energy's low. Your sex drive's completely wiped out. And you're even going to the pool or the beach with your kids and you won't even take off your shirt. Like, those are emotional things that are drastically cutting life out of your life, lived life out of your life. There's shame and frustration with that. You really feel hopeless. And then that cycle just continues like we talked about at the beginning of this video. There really is that piece of loss of identity, guys. And you're looking in the mirror and you're not even seeing yourself anymore. And you're like, how the hell did I even get here? And so we need to figure out a way to make this sustainable. And that is what we are doing, a way that works really, really well. But let's be honest, it's not always about the looks. Obviously, that is a big part of it. We want to look really good, but it's not all just about the look. It's actually also about the way that you feel when you're with your kids and they want to play and you're not exhausted. You have the energy to give them everything that you are, and you don't have to feel guilty about when you can't. Or when your partner touches you and you're in your chest and you flinch and you're stuck in that body that doesn't feel like you anymore. We want to get rid of that. We want to go back to that way that you were excited when you were with your partner, that you were excited to take your shirt off. You were excited about the way that you felt and looked. We want to get back to that. You don't have to eat perfect to get results, you guys. We have to get this mindset of perfection out of our mind. Most diets teach you to fear food, especially foods that you actually enjoy. And so then we get in, again, this cycle of fear, which turns into guilt. You don't need another diet, you guys. You need a strategy that fits your lifestyle. Strategy always wins. We have to reframe our view of food and move it from fuel to instead of the enemy. So when we see it as fuel, we see it as these things that we can enjoy. We can be a foodie and still be very fit. My wife is a chef. We love food. We love going to hole-in-the-wall places. but we live in a very healthy manner. We live in this area where we know we can take in some of these fun things and still obtain those goals that we want, still have great physiques. So we need to eat for our goals, and that creates a freedom with the structure that we can build. So this is what actually works. You've been trained to think that you need to suffer to get the results. You need to cut out the sugar, no more beer, no more pizza, no more fun. But here's the truth. Perfection is not required. Flexibility is. Fat loss is more of a math game than a morality test. And a lot of you feel like you're failing a morality test every time you try to start a diet. And it's because we want to move it to nutrition from a diet. You can enjoy some cookies and burgers, you guys, and ice cream if you understand calories, macros, and flexibility. Ultimately, you need to understand your goals. You need to understand yourself. And you need to frame that of what you truly want and what truly matters. And so this is a great example right here. So almost 1,600 calories in both these photos. You can see how it is actually really easy to get extremely overweight, to put on weight, because you can eat just this, which only fills you up for a little bit. And then this looks like a ton of food for the day. And you're like, oh, I'm eating way more. Like somebody moves from the left to the right. And they're like, I can't eat all this. I'm eating way more. And it's like, well, you're eating actually less calories and more calorie dense food. So the volume is bigger. But here's the thing. We can exchange. Let's say you're eating like this on the right for the most part. And this meal down here for breakfast. Okay, that's like 60 carbs right here. If we can start thinking, okay, there's 60 carbs I'm having for breakfast, but I want something else. I want to go to Starbucks and have something for breakfast. We can start exchanging foods. We can learn the power of exchange. So we don't want it to live off this crap on the left. But if you enjoy getting a McDonald's drive-thru with your kid once in a while so they can get a Happy Meal, and that's something that you guys enjoy to do once in a while, let's learn to exchange the food, and you can start living in a very mentally healthy lifestyle as well as a physical healthy lifestyle that needs to be talked about. You guys, this is what my clients are doing every single day. We build customized plans to fit their lifestyle. And their lifestyle is very much in mind. Their work is in mind. So you're not eating just boiled chicken and broccoli. You're eating real food and seeing the results. My guys are losing 15, 30, 50, 100 pounds, 150 pounds. Their energy's back. Their sex drive is back. Their confidence is back. And they're doing it while still enjoying some of their favorite things every single week. I teach them the power of exchange. And they learn to have a positive relationship with food so they can continue on making the gains they want. They can keep getting the results they want and living in a very confident way. It's key that we do this, you guys. It's key you learn how to exchange foods. So for example, the Oreos we talked about at the beginning. 20 some carbs in this bag of Oreos. Let's say that you normally in the afternoon you do like some protein and an apple. Like you do a protein chicken and an apple, it's a little pick-me-up snack. Well, an apple has about the same amount of carbs as the Oreo packet. Now, there's a few extra fats in there we have to account for, but as far as an exchange, we can exchange one for the other and still end up in the same place at the end of the day. There's obviously a lot of things that come into factors this as well. Like the apple is going to have better vitamins and minerals and the micronutrients. But if we're just tracking our calories and trying to get that under control and losing the fat, it is okay to occasionally make a swap and enjoy some things and have a healthy relationship with food so we can stay mentally positive, so we can continue to get results, and then that stops us from binge eating in the long term. That is the key thing. So there's a choice here, you guys. The real choice. Imagine going out with your family and eating what you want. And you're going out for pizza and you're still losing fat. You don't have that guilt where then you wake up the next day and you're like, well, I overate last night, and so I'm not going to eat this first half of the day. So you intermittent fast. You say you're fasting, but then you have good intentions with it. You get to evening, you eat a nice meal, but then you're hangry, and that kicks in. You make one trip to the cupboard. You're like, oh, I'm just gonna have a little something. Before you know it, you've done 5 or 6 trips to the cupboard, and you overeat, and now you feel guilty again, and that cycle continues. You wake up the next day, you feel guilty from the night before, and it goes all over again. So we keep spinning our wheels with that. With this extreme diet and this rebounding weight. You drop 5, you gain 5. You drop 10, you gain 10. Finally, we have to take a smarter approach approach to this, a sustainable approach, one that you can actually live with. We're at a crossing the roads, and you have to make a choice. I can't keep going on this path that I'm on right now because it's not working. It hasn't worked, and I'm still in the same place. I'm in a worse place today than I was a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So at some point, we have to realize I'm at this fork in the road, and I have to change the way that I think, and I have to change the way that I think about food, and change the way my relationship with food. Imagine feeling excited about your nutrition instead of hopeless and defeated. The old way is not working anymore. It's time for something sustainable.
There is no reason why you should still be struggling with this. We've come so far in nutrition over the years. We've gone past the commercial fad diets. Unfortunately, we still have all the crazy fad diets on social media that are influencing us to have a quick result versus buying into something that is going to give us sustainability forever. A way that we can actually live forever. But it takes some learning on your end. It takes you actually taking an effort. You're not going to just run away forever. You can't just keep running away from these foods that are the enemy. Because the reality is you have a birthday party, you have a wedding, you have a night out with the guys. You have all of these things where you're like, you're going to have a piece of cake. You're going to have a drink with the guys. You're going to have some pizza on a night where your wife is busy, you're busy, and she brings home pizza for the night. I'm going to go to Buffalo Wild Wings with my kids once in a while because that is our thing. And so we can't just run away in fear. We can't just keep pinning ourselves with guilt that we're not going to get there. The fact is that you can get there. You just need to establish your goals and really figure out what you want. And if this is something that you want, you're tired of looking in the mirror and not seeing what you want to see. You're tired of going to the pool with no confidence. You're tired of having crap energy when you get home from work and you have nothing for your kids, nothing for your spouse. If you're really tired of that, then you have to realize there is another way. But it takes a different effort than what you've been doing right now. It takes you setting up and learning about what is in food so you can learn to exchange the pack of Oreos for an apple occasionally. You can learn to exchange some of these foods and still reach your goals. And so if you want help setting up with this, you can book a free call with me and I'll help strategize out what you need to do. You can just DM me strategy on Instagram. Go to @run2gun on Instagram. The link is down in the descriptions. Comment strategy. I will reply to you myself. And so we can set you up. Or you can just click on the other link right here and book your one-on-one strategy coaching call with me. I'll reach out to you and we'll get you all set up. No pressure, just results.